Well, looky here. You are listening to someone who is bold, authentic, diverse, unpredictable. Baby, I am unapologetically Ramon, and you have entered my zone, the QB zone, baby. Hello, somebody.
and 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 there's no objection.
So after 20 episodes and two special episodes for Father's Day, thousands of downloads, thousands of views, I have successfully completed season one of my podcast, The QB Zone. And it would not have been possible without a lot of the people that you guys are going to meet on this episode. So in my first segment, I have four familiar faces that you guys thoroughly enjoyed throughout the season. A different mix, and so I definitely want to bring them together for this recap reunion episode, just to kind of talk about a few things and just have some fun. And so we're definitely going to go ahead and introduce my guests. We have, first up, we have Jokera McNeil. You guys saw her on episode 4, which was my relationship and lifestyle talk episode. And I'm going to get back to that episode later. She was also on episode 12, which was my part one of my HBCU episode. Next, we have Jacques Toussaint. Jacques was on my episode 4 as well, along with Jokera. And he was also on my episode 10, which was probably one of my favorite episodes. And that was our Bare Naked Truths episode. Next up, we have Zandra. She was on my Absentee Parents episode, which was episode 3. We have Tiffany Daniels, who you guys also saw in the Absentee Parent episode. And she was also in episode 10, which was the Bare Naked Truths episode. I have another guest, Nicholas McGriff, who was on my episode 8, which was Enriching Youth One Child at a Time, part 1 episode, as well as he was on part 2 of the 2 special episodes that I did for Father's Day. So how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Doing good, doing good.
And on this end.
Good, good, good. Glad to hear that.
Hey, everybody.
So, and speaking of Jokera and Jacques, what I'll say is after thousands of downloads and views, episode 4, which featured Jokera, Jacques, Jonathan Moses, Brittany Revere, that was my highest play episode. So I definitely appreciate what you guys brought to that episode and that transparency and the fun. So we did end up having fun towards the end when we talked about side chicks, and Jokera gave us a nice, interesting story of a New Year's. It was New Year's, a very interesting story. I will say that one of my favorite stories of the season was Jacques. So in episode 10, Jacques shared a story about a love triangle amongst some athletes at FSU. It was very salacious. It was very interesting. I know Tiffany was on that episode. It involved jail. It involved violence. It was like a good old Lifetime TNT movie. And it was crazy because we did not expect the story to come from Jacques. That story came out of left field, and we was all sitting there like glued, like what was going to happen next. So he was really giving us the play-by-play. So I really appreciate Jacques telling that story. Zandra, what would you say of the episodes that you watched or listened to? Because some of it was on YouTube. What was something that stood out to you?
Yeah, it was definitely his story. Like, I watched that a couple of times. Most definitely watched that a couple of times because I was trying to figure out if I knew any of them. I was like, do I know? I done called around to some friends. I went to Florida State. I'm like, hey, you know who this could be? That was, I'm nosy, so I was yeah, that was definitely one of the ones that stood out the most to me. Like that was just like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. How about you, Tiffany?
The same.
Because it all caught off guard.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it was good. So
it was.
We want for to move on. We want for to stop him. So we were like, okay, let's see where this is gonna go.
And I didn't know that kind of stuff was going on at Florida State while I was.
Look, I was right across the pond and didn't even know that stuff was going on.
Listen, how about you, Jokera?
I'm sorry.
Something during the season of whether it was your episode or any other episode that you saw or listened to that stood out to you.
Oh, I don't remember the episode number. I know I texted you about it. We were talking about it. Oh my God. What number was that?
Oh, do you remember who was in it?
Now you know better than that. It might have been I think maybe the Naked Truth or something. One of those, that episode. I can't remember exactly, but I remember texting you about it because we talked about it, but I don't remember the number.
Okay. What were we talking about? It was about the when you were sharing of the personal accounts.
I think so. It still had to do with relationships, I believe.
Yeah, it was theirs. It was their episode.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
When we was talking about the personal account. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jacques, how about you?
Let me think. I feel like I'm on a spot because y'all keep calling my episode. That story actually has a great end. Well, I don't know if it has a good ending to it. Yeah, it has an ending to it, but it's an ending.
You ain't tell us the ending.
There's an ending?
There is an ending.
What's the ending?
I was about to say there's more.
There's
Right.
Wait.
My cup is full and I got time today.
So I would see my episode. I enjoyed my episode. Episode 4 was really fun. Just being able to interact with different people. But y'all want to know the ending for real? So
yeah.
one of them ended up going. One of them ended up going to a different school. The other one, I was in jail. I don't know if I told you, he got arrested. I spent like 6 days in jail. When I was in jail, stayed in jail for a long while. Then they got out, and now they're dating the one that transferred best friend. The one that transferred best friend messed around with the one. It's a mess, y'all. I can't even explain it. So now they're dating the one that transferred best friend, ex-best friend, I would say, who was trying to get with the one that transferred, and now it was still calling one that transferred his phone all the time, but they're dating that individual.
These are all track athletes, Jokera, by the way.
I don't work there anymore, so yes, he was.
Track team at FSU.
So it's a mess.
A whole lot.
Wow.
Oh Lord. I have to go back and listen to the episode again just to remind myself.
So yeah, that's the rough summary of the situation. It's a mess. But I think the one that transferred away is the winner, I would say, per se.
Because he got away from the drama.
For the situation. They're in a new spot, new location, new school. Doing really well, actually. Spoke to me yesterday. They're doing really, really well for themselves. They're doing well.
Well,
but the other person, you still in Tallahassee, you're still dealing with a toxic situation because you're somebody's ex-best friend. So
right.
It's a mess, but that's their business and that's their life to deal with. But yeah, it's Tallahassee's messy.
Some people thrive off of toxicity.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. That's something that I noticed a lot. That it's like a thrill. It's like
some people do get a thrill out of that.
Yeah,
they get a thrill out of that. Absolutely.
Like, I have a friend now, like she jumps from relationship to relationship and all her relationships are toxic. And I'm like, why do you not see this? Like, you currently in a situation right now where the dude is pregnant, the dude's baby mama is pregnant right now. And he got another baby on the way. And you okay with this? and both of them are like just mean and like nasty. Them pop with the house, them flatten her tires, bust her window, and you still stay with this dude. Like what? Why?
Right.
I don't get it.
So a lot of y'all episodes dealt with relationships. We all talked about relationships to some degree. And I just want your opinion on just a few scenarios. I'm just going to randomly throw them out there. I'm going to say Jokera. Should you maintain a friendship with someone your mate does not like or get along with?
Should I maintain a relationship that my mate does not get along with?
Yeah, friendship. How would you handle that?
Well, part of it depends on, for me, part of it depends on why. Like what is the extent of the dislike? If you just, I don't loud or something, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Something simple. And just off a mere like perception that ain't necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
That's not enough for me. So it would depend on the extent or the reason of the dislike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Jacques, how would you handle being in a friendship that your significant other did not like? Well, let's take it a step further, because I know you, let's say your significant other don't like them, or even one of your relatives.
A friendship?
Mm-hmm.
It all depends. I think what I've learned over the past, since I left Florida and moved to Dallas, over the past month and a half, 2 months, and your new starting job, I've kind of lost a lot of friends, per se, that, my previous significant other was like, she'd be like, oh, I don't like this person, I'm that person for you. But I just did my own thing. Like, then what about me is I'm gonna do the hell I want to. And until I'm ready to stop, I'll stop. I think that's like my issue. Sometimes I deal with, which is why I get caught up in some mess. And like, so I'll do it how I want to. When it comes to drinking, when it comes to smoking, whatever it is, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it. I don't give a damn. Until it's like, okay, Jacques, you're gonna stop right there. It's like my best friend Damon always said, like, y'all leave Jacques alone, please. He gonna travel the world until he wants to stop, and let that boy be. Because people, why is he always out? That's his money. So how I feel about that statement is I feel I'm a grown ass man. And unless you have a significant reason why, like let's say like it's an ex. Okay, so if it's an ex, okay, you know what, Jacques? You and this girl too close, y'all too tight. This is your ex. Like maybe you should like step off a little bit. That I could respect that. But if you were, I don't like how they this, I don't care. That's your business. And I mean, I get it. But at the end of the day, like some friends in my life, you're not gonna like them. My family not gonna like them. And I think just the way life is. And I would do my best to manage it to where I keep you both comfortable. But however, I'm not gonna cut my friend off because you want my daddy or my mama. No.
Okay. Zandra, if someone proposes and it is declined, is it possible for that relationship to still continue?
I mean, it would. I mean, it could, because it could have been too early of a proposal. Like if you proposing after 3 months of being in a relationship with somebody, that's kind of soon. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it really just depends on why there was a decline. Like, did you decline? What was your reasoning for declining the proposal? Like I said, it was too early. It could have been they weren't ready yet. You just have to talk through it to figure out, why you decline, what you can do from that point forward. After that, it's all about communication and how you build your communication with your significant other at that point.
Okay. So, Jacques, I immediately saw you say no. So if your proposal was declined, would there be anywhere possible for the relationship to continue? That don't mean you shouldn't necessarily want to be with you, but how would you approach that situation? Because your reaction was immediate.
I feel like whenever I propose to somebody, that means I'm ready. That means I don't let my little wholeness out. I don't stop being, I don't let the streets go. You're like my only one. I don't give you some time, some years. You know, I'm ready. If you say no, you goodbye. So I don't spend my day, my good hard-earned money on this nice possible ring for a very nice proposal. I know I'm extra as hell. And you're gonna tell me no? Yeah, I don't care. It's like, no, because I know me, like, I'm not gonna just propose you after a year or 2. I'm about that 2-3 years if I propose. So it's just like, if I give you my time and I delete it on my wholeness, and I'm over here like, you know, I'm chilling, I'm committed to you, and you over here tell me no, yeah, next.
What did she say just not right now? What did she say it gives her another year or 2? And she gives you some reasons. Would it depend on what those reasons are?
If they're valid enough. Because what happens from a year or 2 that'll be differently from before that. And a year or 2 we could be my fiance for 2 while you figure it out for 2 years.
That's true, because you become the fiance don't mean you gotta get married tomorrow.
Get married right away. That's what I'm saying. Like, so once you ask somebody to marry you, you can get married in 6 months, you get married in 3-4 years. I could have been fiancé for like 7. Look at what's the name? Jim Jones and Chrissy.
That's not a good example.
I know. Because
I know that's a mess.
Yeah, I know.
I get it, bro.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, if you spend the time, I feel like, you know, once you gave with somebody, you know, you gotta plan whatever. But sometimes you gotta go like, you know, hey, let's know how this person really is. This is a different stage. So being a fiance could be about a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Right.
That's not time for you to figure it out. You can keep the ring and figure it out. So if you can't figure it out by then sayonara.
So how long can an engagement last then, in that case?
I don't think there's a time on the engagement. I think, you know, you could be engaged for a couple of years, but I feel like you got to figure it out, because that ring went back to the pawn shop, wherever I buy it from.
Oh, Jesus, not the pawn shop.
You have a conversation prior to proposing?
So it's you know what? I like what you just said. So I feel like if you're going to propose to somebody, there should be some type of low-key understanding or hints that's there through conversation, whether it's dinners, then pillow talking in the house, you know, just different type of signs where you know, okay, this is secure. So if you're propose, you gotta be like, okay, I am sure that if I ask you right now and from discussion we done had, all the evidence that y'all want to marry you, but you don't have to, you know, throw out a hint or something like that, then okay, I'm sure that we can be together. So I agree with you on that part of discussion she had before. So me going to propose to you, it should be a surprise to you, but you're like, okay, I knew what's coming to you, so the yes could be easy instead of, you know, okay, me crying, emotional, mama, this, blah, 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 blah. But however, I agree with you on that, Zandra, on the part of there should be conversation being had leading up to it, because you just go buy a ring, next week I'm gonna propose. It's like a timeline building up to it. You ask family and those different things for their I'm asking your dad, asking the mom, asking the auntie, your grandma, whoever's in their life, and asking, hey, I want to get your daughter's hand in marriage. How do you, you know, just getting your permission, blah, 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 blah. So I agree with that comment, Zandra. I definitely agree with that.
So to the lady, does the man have to have a ring to propose? The reason why I ask that question is because, you know, I've seen couples, of course, olden day, not our generation, but I've seen couples back in the day that they may not exchange rings for a variety of reasons. Some of them could be good or negative, whatever it is. I remember the other day reading an article where Tiffany said that if Carmen was to propose, she don't want a ring, she want an apartment complex. She wants something that can actually be worth something. So does a man need to propose with a ring in order for you to say yes? Jokera, you want to go first? Because she look like, well, what the fuck else he gonna give me?
Short answer, yes.
Because anybody could say, oh, I want to marry you. Let's get married. It'd be like, okay.
Yeah, short answer, yes.
I need to know why. Because I want to know that you don't spend some damn money. You got something to lose.
Big fat.
What if he done bought y'all a house and got your name on it? Or both of y'all?
Okay,
or both of y'all?
No, I want a ring. No, damn the house. That can come afterwards. I know.
I want to take the just in case pictures too. Like y'all see,
Right. You know what
hey
I'm
girl,
saying? Like,
how you doing?
But if the relationship doesn't last and he's bought you something that can still garner you money or can still be of value, why would you not accept that? Because once y'all break up, what's so important about that ring? You ain't gonna walk around and flaunt it.
But if you propose to me at that point, there is no breaking up. We in this for the long haul.
Yes,
So
that's
why?
policy, but we know that don't
That's what I'm saying.
necessarily.
Like, and I mean, I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. But my thing is, you propose to me. That means we've already had this discussion. We've been in this for a while. Then we agreed to be with each other.
We locked it up.
And I can only talk about me personally. When I agree to be with somebody, because you know I'm not friendly, I'm not nice. So if I'm agreeing to be with you, that means you done dealt with me, I done dealt with you. We're in this.
Right.
So therefore, we're in this for the long haul. I'm not looking at breaking up. I'm not looking into the negative. What if? I'm not. The what if is what if you don't get me this ring? What if we don't go to this place for our honeymoon? What if we don't book this venue for our wedding? That's the only what if I see in this situation after you done proposed to me.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no what if we break up.
Does the size of the ring matter to any of y'all?
To me, that part don't really matter.
Okay.
I mean, long as I know they say it's supposed to be like what 2 or 3 salaries or something. I don't really know, but I mean, it's the thought that counts. As long as you put thought into my ring, like whoever decides to propose to me, as long as he knows I love Disney. If you get me a Disney ring, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Get one of those Disney enchanted rings. I'm ecstatic. Get the extra money, get the Tiana one, you get extra.
So yeah, I feel you. What about you, Jokera?
You know what I'm saying?
So I've never been a flashy or gaudy person, so I don't need nothing big and extravagant. On top of that, my hands are small, so
right. You walk around here trying to carry this rock for real, like what the hell?
Yeah, so nah, that's not necessary. I am more along the lines of something cute and faint.
Okay. Shantae Daniels.
Well, I ain't gonna say the size don't matter because it doesn't. But if you know me well enough and you know I like certain types of things, like jewelry and stuff like that, don't get nothing out. You know I'm not gonna like that.
Right.
I can't stand. I just, if you know I'm not gonna like it, then I would advise you not to do it.
Okay.
But the size really doesn't matter to me either.
So I want to do a roundabout where I, instead of always asking all the questions, wanted my guests to ask me whatever. It could be, like I told them, there was no restrictions. It could be serious, emotional, messy, nasty, because our episodes have had all of those subject matters. So, Tiffany, you can go ahead and go first with yours. I don't think yours is exactly a question, but go ahead.
I got to go first.
You supposed to put them in advance?
I did tell you.
Wait, but why I gotta go first?
I texted to you, silly.
Wait, I forgot my question.
I got my questions.
Good.
Okay.
Well, just think whatever comes to y'all mind. You can ask me whatever.
You know I drink a lot.
Not you, not yet for you, Jacques. Oh. Tiffany, go ahead.
I'm sorry, y'all, for those that's on this call. Ramon said we had to ask some question scenario. I said, okay, I'm gonna be the person that's gonna be stupid. Okay. So Ramon, you were talking to this girl, right? And y'all got good chemistry, everything is going well. You know, it's been maybe 4 or 5 months y'all been talking. Y'all only have kissed, held hands, y'all been on a couple of dates. So it came down to the point where y'all have decided to want to have sex. And that night,
and we waited 5 months?
Yeah, within 5 months. 4 or 5 months. Whatever.
Okay.
However fast you want to go.
Okay.
So yeah, you take her out on a date like you normally do, and then she invited you to her apartment because you guys wanted to start to be intimate. So y'all know you started off foreplay and stuff, and she gets completely naked, and all of a sudden she has a hang down low vagina. Her vagina is her vagina is hanging. What do you do? Now everybody know all vaginas don't look the same, and you got some of those vaginas that hangs. It looks like a ball. It looks like balls hanging from off a female. So tell me, what would you do if her lips? If you seen that her lips was hanging off her body, and you about to stick your penis up in there, you be like, oh shit, I don't know if I want. What would you do?
We got to take a drink after that one, huh?
So this is what I'm gonna do. Ah, shit, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom right quick, right? I'm gonna find a slick way to go to the bathroom. And I remember years ago, I'm gonna answer this by saying this. I remember years ago, I was in a situation. I was back home in Brevard County. I don't know if Jokera remember this. And matter of fact, I think she might have been at FAM. So it was some years ago. And I walked into the residence, about to make it popping with somebody.
Oh.
And it ended up being more than what I had asked for, or more than what I was willing to engage in. And I remember texting Jokera. I said, call me and pretend like it's some kind of emergency. I don't remember if I told her why to do it, but I know she did it, and I got the fuck out of there. So I'm finna find a slick way to go to the bathroom or whatever. And I'm calling one of y'all to get me the fuck up out of there.
But wait, watch this though, Ramon. So if you do that, would you keep talking to her after that?
Oh, baby, she's blocked on my way to the car.
It blocked and deleted.
Hello, somebody. She's blocked on my way to the car.
Oh my God.
I bet before I pull out of that parking space, she blocked. And I'm
Jacques, what would you do? Like, I just don't be understanding, because like I said, all vaginas do not look alike. They don't all look like.
That is
some look normal,
however,
some look normal, and some look like chewed up bubblegum.
And that's correct. But regardless, women that take care of their bodies, it's still gonna have a sense of normalcy to it. And it ain't gonna look like what the hell you just described. It ain't gonna look like she got a mop sweeping the ground as she walks. No. So I want to welcome.
Turn the light on.
Hello, somebody.
Nope.
So I want to welcome finally Mr. Nicholas McGriff. Nick, how are you today, sir?
Hey, why you ain't call me? I'd have called and said something crazy.
Okay, so I'm glad. Did you hear the question, Nick?
Well,
I heard all the questions.
Okay, good. So Nick, what would you have done if you was in that situation that she just described? The pussy looked like who done it and who didn't finish.
It looked like chewed up bubblegum. It's hanging like some balls.
Oh, I'm gonna call somebody too.
So you getting the hell up out of there?
Yeah, we already got it planned out. When I text you, bro, call me and say something crazy, because it ain't looking like it's going down.
That's how y'all know y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all supposed to have y'all set up prior to y'all even getting over there. You get your friend on speed dial. You let them know, hey, I'm going over here.
Yeah.
If it don't work out, I'm gonna send you my code word.
That is
true.
Strawberries, pineapples, whatever my code word be.
I'm be like,
then you call me. That means you know to call me in 5 minutes to get me out of there. Yeah, that's set up prior to you even getting there.
Yeah,
mine was a flat tire.
I'm like, yo, I'm about to go this way. But I say now, just call my phone.
Just call it.
And I like it's an emergency. Just whatever you want to come, whatever you want to emergency. Just I need you now. If she roll over, I say now. 2 minutes. What's good, bro?
I'm trying to tell you.
Boom.
So Nick, if you were to propose to a chick and she declined it, she still want to be with you, but how would you handle that? Could you still be with her, or how could you handle that?
It's over.
No questions asked.
Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
If I propose to a chick, it got to be at least 3 years into the relationship.
Right.
At least what? Yeah, 3 to 4.
I feel. 'Cause
the first shit don't count.
It don't. 'Cause the first shit don't count. 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 'Cause the first sh
That's a trial run.
Mm-hmm.
The second year you get kind of serious, and then the third year you're gonna know for sure.
Right.
And then you go from there.
Okay. Jacques, what are your questions for me?
What has been the most fucked up thing you've done in a relationship with somebody?
I can answer that. Be Ramon.
Like you were dead ass wrong for it. Like you know you were dead ass, but you still went and no one did it.
Because he don't care.
Mess with one of their relatives.
That they knew or they didn't know.
So they didn't know, but the relative knew that I was messing with it. So I messed with an older relative.
Wow.
The older relative knew that I was messing with the younger relative. The younger relative did not. So when the older relative told me I had to choose, which you're not finna give me no fucking ultimatum. So when I told the older relative that, when they told me I had to choose, I chose the younger relative.
So you kept it in the family.
I am shocked.
You kept it in the family.
Shocked and appalled.
How close was the relatives?
Appalled.
How close
was it?
For the relatives, like
they lived under the same roof.
Oh,
you nasty.
Oh, you're the messy damn
you's a
motherfucker.
nasty son of a bitch.
This is part down south, huh?
You's a nasty son of a bitch.
Would y'all be surprised to know it was in Brevard?
Oh. Somewhere in Melbourne.
Like on some, was it like a?
Not totally surprised, but
it was in Melbourne, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Was it on like some revenge type of situation?
It was earlier on in my activeness with sex, and for me, I was addicted to the fun. I was addicted to the thrill of it, and realizing that there were just certain things that certain people enjoy from your boy, and I just loved the attention that I got. So, yeah, I wasn't trying to be monogamous or anything like that. Plus, I'm around, bunch of people who, they got all these girls, and it wasn't like I was surrounded by faithfulness. So it's like, hey, I'm doing what I know, or what feels right. Jacques, did you have another question?
I'm good because you dead. You eat that, Ramon? Dead wrong. You're wrong.
I mean, shit, I don't want to ask no more because we're gonna reveal some more shit.
It was so long ago. I was in my.
But you weren't committed to either one, or
but
were
that's
you?
Somebody, family member.
The older relative wanted me to be.
Right, but I mean, but you were single.
I was single.
Yeah.
Were you single or were you single?
Big difference.
Big difference. See, single or single?
You must have been single.
He don't know. He don't know.
I can be honest and say that I was probably guilty of the younger one believing that we were more than what we are.
He wasn't single. He wasn't in a relationship.
So hold on. So basically, they were in a relationship, but you weren't in one.
Pretty much. There you go. That's the word.
Yeah.
I'm bad business right now.
And I allow myself to continue to make them think that.
You dead wrong.
So you was the toxic one.
You was okay. So that's extra. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
You dead wrong.
Zandra, what's your question?
Circle back to me. I'm still processing what you just
Got a
said.
Either in a relation. Well, okay. So we just talked about. I don't know if this is the same question. Actually, you could answer it differently. But you just talked about like one of the worst things you did in a relationship. What is one of the craziest or wildest things that you've ever done, either in a relationship or a situationship?
Oh, that's good stuff. Let's say which one thing I want to share. The craziest thing. This thing. Probably going to a party that turned into
An orgy.
I wouldn't say an orgy, but it just turned into people doing stuff, and I would probably say performing a sexual act in front of a room of people.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you a performer?
I would say
Okay.
that because because it's a thing with number one, you have part liquid courage, and then you dare me to do something. So using that word always kind of gets to me. So yeah, I would say that probably one of the craziest things. But I mean, another was also the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one.
I knew you was a freak.
Girl, you better read
nasty.
I always know it.
Any other questions, Jokera?
No, not right now.
Zandra.
Do you ever look back at certain relationships and feel like there was one that got away?
Possibly, and listening to probably the wrong friends as far as the advice that was given and how I chose to move. So yeah, I can say that's possible. That would have been someone from my early FIU years, but yeah, I'll say possible.
If you get a second chance, would you?
Oh, we haven't had contact since probably 03, 04. So I mean, if it just so happened we happen to run into each other, I wouldn't be against it, but I haven't heard from them in over 10 years.
You was dead ass wrong.
You still on that first name? Nick, do you have a question?
Do you give second chances?
Yes. Yes, and sometimes I've given more than that undeservingly, but yeah, I do.
And what's your breaking point? Like, know what? Nah, this is it. Like, no more. I'm good. Is it physical or is it like emotional or is it like?
So I think that there was a period where I seeked validation in people. So you being in my life, I felt like validate me to a certain extent. And so when I would get to the point where enough would be enough, it would probably be whenever I got to the point that you just get tired of being mad or tired of hurting. And so that could be the fourth or fifth time, unfortunately. I was very stupidly, for lack of better words, doing that a lot in my 20s. I would say with where I'm at now or where I've been, you probably won't get more than a second chance just because I know what I bring to the table as a friend. I know what I bring to the table as far as if I'm in a relationship. And I hold myself at the same reproach that I will hold you. And so consistency is key. And I'm not about to allow myself to be used. And so I would say it's more of a physical and emotional thing that if I'm not being fed positively, if this is not benefiting my life, then I don't need to give a second chance. I will only give a second chance if I feel this can be worked on, and then there could be some progress. Because I feel like an apology, for example, is not so much in the words as in the change behavior. So if I don't believe that there's going to be any change behavior, then I probably won't even trust the apology. But if I do believe and get that feeling, that emotional thing, yeah, I would give a second chance. But more than that, no, I'm good.
And do you explain?
Huh?
Do you exit?
Do I explain before I exit, or do I just exit?
Yeah.
It depends on the significance of that person in my life. So, for example, over the last 2.5 years, for a variety of reasons, I have removed some people from my life. Some got an explanation, some did not. Why did I not give certain ones the explanation? I probably felt like the act was egregious enough, or I didn't feel that based off a pattern in history that there would even be any kind of understanding or care. Like, why waste my time? Why waste my breath? So I just exited.
Okay.
Anybody else?
You see yourself settling down anytime soon?
No.
That was quick. That was quick. Hell no.
No. I mean, for one, I'm not even actively dating or looking. And then I'm just so focused on goals professionally and personally. I self-restrict my time because any spare time I have, I want to sleep or hang out with friends, or I'll probably text one of y'all. But yeah, no, not no time soon. Not against it, absolutely. I'm one of those people who I would love to, you know, be married and be in a serious situation. But yeah, not no time soon.
Married?
Yeah. I think if I didn't feel like I was behind in life or behind my goals, I probably would have said yeah.
Okay.
So everybody got their drink?
No. Need a refill.
Right.
You need a refill.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Jacques, you can just raise your hand. So I have some questions.
That type of party. Hold on, let me definitely refill. Hold on.
Oh, what are we doing?
Never have I ever.
Oh, let me get some water. Hold on, let me get some water. Okay, hold on, I'll be back.
I mean, I can get a drink. I just haven't.
Let me refill.
And we can't see Nick, so Nick can just say yes or no.
I got a drink.
We can't see it. Why are you in the dark?
Because I'm light skinned.
Oh, Jesus.
We know.
Thank you. And I don't like iPhone.
You love
Ooh,
it.
don't talk about iPhone. Don't do that. Don't talk about
Going
iPhone.
back.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the ones that don't know how to work the iPhone that don't like the iPhone.
Amen.
I'm just saying. I work for the people, so I know. Get every day on the phone. Let me go refill my cup. Hold on.
Yes, hurry up. I'm ready to
I'm sitting here working on a client's skates. Who wants bedazzled skates? Who wants that?
Oh, Lord. That's nice, though.
One bedazzle at a time?
One bedazzle at a time.
Ooh, woo. It costs a lot of money because it takes me fucking
Hello.
hours.
Hello, somebody. And that's not even a whole. I'm not even finished with a whole one side. I still.
Oh.
It costs that much. Okay.
Thank you, sis. Exactly. That's why she paying me $300.
Oh, look! I need to go find some shoes to be that. Real quick.
Hello, somebody. Tiffany, you got your drink? Oh, okay. Oh, feed your water.
Yeah, I still gotta take care of an infant.
I'm hungry. I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. Jacques, you cook today? What you eating?
Nothing.
I did not cook. I definitely ate leftovers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I cooked some neck bones today.
Mind your business, Nicholas.
My grandma wanted some neck bones, so I cooked some neck bones and rice today.
Oh, I need to come.
You know, when grandma calls and say she wants some, I tend to do it.
Nick, you run a Mercedes?
What?
Well, damn.
He got the Hennessy.
Oh, shit.
The white Hennessy, too.
Oh, right.
Good God.
My Lord. Jesus.
Pass me
It's
Jacques.
been over a year and a half since I had liquor.
Turn up.
Jacques, what you got? You probably got water. Oh, okay. So we can get started. I could just think of that smell.
Can I have my water back? Come on, drink your milk.
So, first question, or a statement, rather. Never have I ever gone skinny dipping.
God damn, right off the bat. Shit.
Hey, we supposed to drink if we did?
If you've done it.
If you did it, you drink.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, okay, Tiffany.
Right off the back with me.
Never have I ever smoked a joint.
oh shit. Let me take a
Oh, nigga,
whole
a
go.
joint. Never have I ever smoked a joint.
Where are you posting this at?
Where am I gonna post this at?
Mm-hmm.
Just on the app. It's not even gonna be on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Because you're like, wait a minute, who I'm finna see my business if I drink on something?
How did I've
Never have I ever marched in a protest.
what?
Say that again.
Never have I
Marched in
ever
a
marched
protest.
in a protest. Oh, good job, John. Did Nick drink too?
He got a cup or something.
Oh, okay.
Your cup, Nick.
It was like lift his tea.
Little goose.
Oh, do you say?
Goose.
Oh, goose.
It's brown.
You probably put some juice
Oh.
in it.
All that ice.
He
Little
learned.
chaser. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Never have
He
I
still
ever
drinks
drunk.
white.
Never have I ever drunk down in X.
Drunk
You
dive.
did what?
Drunk
Listen,
dive.
I don't.
In X.
Can you ask one that I haven't done yet for it?
Oh God.
Your friend, you know.
Never, I know, right? Never have I ever dined and dashed.
I ain't did that one.
That's ghetto.
Ramon ghetto.
I got money.
First of all, I was young as hell, so you shut up. I was young as hell.
They used to dine and dash Denny's all the time.
And that's exactly where it was, didn't it?
He was never
I
paying
got
for food at Denny's.
Oh my God. Never have I ever had a crush on a teacher.
On a teacher.
Look at Tiffany and Jacques. I know that's right.
I don't think I had no teachers.
Miss Pierre, 7th grade. Ooh, that ass was.
No, Mr. Wallace was fine as hell.
What? I had history teacher. My lord.
In college or high school?
High school.
High school.
I took PE
And in
twice
college,
just to be a Mr. Wallace
I had a
class.
white professor. He was so fine. Oh God.
Y'all so silly. Never
Mr.
have
Wallace
I
was
ever
fine.
snooped through someone's phone.
Shit, I do that all the time. Yeah, y'all talking
Grandma say when you go looking for something, you find it.
Everybody drunk but Zandra.
I don't do it no more.
Hello.
My grandma said when you go looking for something, you find it, then you hurt your own feelings. I'm good. Whatever's done in the dark, gonna come in the light.
Yeah, well, that's
You
true.
attacking me.
Never have I ever kissed a friend's ex.
Kissed a
Oh, why
friend.
ain't that messy now?
Uh-oh, John.
And he talked about you.
It wasn't family.
Tell me some I'm effed up.
It wasn't
Right.
bloodline. It wasn't
It
bloodline.
don't matter. They friends.
But then
It
your
does
friend, your friend's ex, your friend's ex.
I was 17 years old. That don't count.
A friend ex is off limit.
Yeah.
Never have I ever told someone I love them without meaning it.
Oh.
Nick, Zandra, Jacques.
I don't mean that shit ever.
You know,
Never-
sometimes
oh, God.
in a thrall. You know,
So you
in the
said I
thralls
don't
of,
mean that shit ever.
Hey, Jacques,
you in
so
the
you
thralls of
never
world.
meant it when you told it to somebody?
Maybe one time, but
Okay.
that shit
Hell no.
that shit was
You know,
great.
when you in the
so-
thralls of doing the vertical nasty, you know, you just be saying something. I think I owe somebody some churn somewhere. Oh, somebody some kids.
Oh my God. Never
You
have
trying
I
to sell me
ever,
anything.
so silly. Never have I ever told my parents I was staying at a friend's house, but was really somewhere else. I'm pretty sure all the ladies finna drink.
Maybe not at the house, but I've said I was somewhere and was somewhere else.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
I do that to this day when she watching my kid. Hey, I'm finna
I know, right?
I done seen the movie Titanic about 10 times.
Hello, somebody. Never have
I'm gonna go to Disney.
Never have I ever kissed more than one person in 24 hours.
Never.
Yes,
Damn.
God. Me, Jacques, Jokera. Okay.
Y'all lips ain't feel different after y'all kiss that second person. Ugh.
Gotta brush your teeth real good.
It's about a good hour.
Damn.
Never have I ever sent a nasty text to the wrong person.
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Never have I ever sent a nasty text to the wrong person.
Like that now.
Me, Jacques, Nick, and Zandra.
PJ,
If I'm sending something, I make sure that 3 times.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's when I had a droid though.
Don't do that.
So you made a
My
mistake.
bad.
And iPhone, you don't have those problems, huh?
I don't have no problem.
Never have I ever cursed in a place of worship.
I probably have. I don't remember.
I have. Like, oh hell no, Lord.
All of us. Never have I ever gotten stopped by airport security.
You just defiant.
So me and Nick.
Be on the plane.
For what?
I've never been on a plane before, so.
You ain't never been on the plane?
Scared to fly.
Oh mercy.
Never have I ever fallen asleep. Never have I ever fallen asleep doing a sexual act.
Man, when I got done.
Are y'all serious?
It was born and whack as hell.
It wasn't necessarily even whack. Like for me, if I'm tired. Like sleep wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was tired and bored.
I was tired.
Never have I ever regretted an apology.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever regretted an apology?
Uh-huh.
I regret apologizing to Brandon all the time.
I didn't actually say his name.
Said it. Oh well, what he gonna do? Fight me?
My frat brother alone.
He could.
Never have I. Nick Cup is gone.
Wait, Nick, he refill it. Hold on, let him refill.
Uh-oh, look at the goose.
Now it's Goose.
Don't do that.
Right, it was questionable before because I don't know, it was questionable before.
Exactly.
I hear you.
They say you was skating earlier, Nick.
No.
What?
So we got just 4 more. Never have I ever accepted a drink from a stranger.
I'm sure I have before.
I'm pretty sure I have. I used to work at a club, so I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't now, like, date rape.
Right.
I wouldn't do it now. I'm pretty sure because I used to work at a club, so I'm pretty sure I have.
Never have I ever dated or hooked up with someone 5 years younger.
Repeat, please.
Never have I ever dated or hooked up with someone who was 5 years younger. Me, Zandra, Nick.
I feel like I'm taking a lot of these drinks with the men folk. I feel like I'm being real mannish and I don't like it.
I think so. Like,
okay, how about this one? Never have I ever dated or hooked up with someone 10 years older.
10 years?
Yeah.
When you say hooked
This is what I'm saying. I feel you making me feel real mannish because my son Daddy is 11 years older than me.
Anything sexual. Whether it was just receiving, giving the full act, anything sexual.
I feel real mannish right now because my son Daddy
kiss no, making out don't count.
Okay.
I feel real mannish because my JB Daddy is 11 years older than me.
So it's just me and you, Zandra.
I don't know.
No, I feel so mannish.
And me.
What happened, Tiffany?
Oh,
Nick took it. No, Nick. Hold on, Nick took it. I saw Nick take
drank. I drank.
Nick too. Okay.
But
so hard like me.
Which
it wasn't your
fault.
Story time. No.
Yeah.
What you say?
Huh?
What you say?
He said it wasn't his fault. Share with the people.
I'm saying you story time because you can't just you just can't fall into the pussy. I'm just saying. So
I had one
Yeah.
for the team.
You was
what?
One for the
He said
You
he
had to
had
take one for the
one
team.
for the team.
Nick, that's rape.
Keep
Was it,
going further. Keep further explain, please, sir.
was it a
By the
friend?
way,
Was
hey
it a
Nick.
Nick,
frat
that
brother,
is
line
Hey
brother?
everybody. Hey
that's
everybody. So
rape.
I had
I
to
was I
go.
was on vacation.
I had to head out. I have an important meeting for my business I have to attend to.
Yes, because you're 3 hours behind.
Yes, stay tuned, please. I am launching a sports firm in December. Y'all stay tuned for that. But I do
You
have
say
a
you launching a
consultation,
what in September? In December?
a sports firm. I'm gonna be a sports agent.
Okay.
So please stay tuned for that. It was nice
Congratulations. I wish
talking
you
to
the
you
best of luck.
all. Thank you, thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you.
No,
Stay
appreciate
tuned.
you.
If you got kids, you got cousins, you got anybody want to
Good
send to
night.
me, send to me. Have a good night, y'all.
All right, you
Good
too.
night.
Bye.
You
Bye.
too, Jacques.
For a second, I thought he was lying because that little smile on his face. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, that's what he
What's
was
that code for? That's code for something else. Where he
right.
going?
Until he
Nah.
mentioned the sports agent stuff, I was like, oh, okay, well, he did go to FSU for that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, because for a second I was like,
Right.
Look, we all looked at him like,
Tonight.
what? That's why I asked him again, like, what you said?
I'm like, yeah, right.
That's what we call it now. That's what
Right.
we call these
Business
days.
meeting.
Look, that's the new term for sneaky link.
Hey,
Hello,
I
somebody.
got an important business meeting. Okay.
That's, you know what? If I ever get me another sneaky link, it's gonna be an important business meeting.
There
Hello.
you go. But Nick, you're not slick. How did you
Right.
end
We
up
still waiting on the story.
How did you meet this person? What happened?
We was on vacation.
Where you was
So how
at?
you had to take one for the team?
There you go. There you go. Got some crazy questions.
Which
We in a safe space. We
You
in
was
an
on one of
open
those cruises?
forum.
Because he
No,
In a safe,
which
you're in a
vacation
safe.
you on?
I was
You're
on
in a
va-
safe
I
space.
was on vacation. Well, we was on vacation, and I had to take one for the team. She was like maybe 10, 12 years older than me. She was
And how old were you
But
again?
you had to look at least decent. I mean, you know.
yeah, she
How
was
old?
decent.
How old
Oh,
were
you-
you again?
Was this last year? A few years
No,
ago?
no. Pre-COVID.
Okay, because 12 years from
Hello.
40, you know, you 40 and shit. Like,
Never. On a cruise ship, put it that way. It's on a cruise ship.
I said. I
Oh,
told
so you had
that
the you had the pineapples on your dough.
for the cruise.
It was
So you had the
it was,
pineapples on your dough, Nick? Let me
it
find
was
that.
me and Eddie.
Oh, okay. Was it good?
So I mean, I was drunk.
Oh, God.
That still ain't saying if it was good or not. No.
he don't remember.
I mean,
That's what it sounds like.
Hello.
I
Right.
think it was good enough for the moment.
Right.
But
I mean,
I still don't understand like you taking one for the team though.
Have you ever
because
had a moment, and this is not
Huh?
a never have I ever, but have any of you been in a situation where you went out partying, turn up, whatever, and you woke up the next morning, laying next to somebody, and you're like, I don't even remember what the fuck we did.
Yeah. The Super Bowl not the most recent Super Bowl here in Tampa. The one when the Cardinals played here when I worked at the nightclub, and the Cardinals lost that game, and they had bought the club out, and like all drinks was on the Cardinals. So I was like, all right, cool. And next thing you know, I woke up and I was in Orlando. I was like, how did I get here?
In Orlando, from Tampa.
Yeah, from
Wait,
Tampa to Orlando.
wait.
I was like, how did I get here?
You
I
don't
mean,
live in the whole fucking county.
Listen, I'm like, I don't know how I got here. Like, this is scary. The person I was laying next to, he was real cute. I had on my clothes still. He had on his clothes still, but I still don't know how I got from Tampa to Orlando.
Okay, so has it been a situation where we ain't have on no clothes? We clearly know we done something freaky deaky, but we don't remember nothing or how the hell we got here.
Ain't no telling. He probably put my clothes back on me. He probably put his clothes back on. I don't know.
No, Jesus.
You never know. But like, I was in Orlando, and we was at the DoubleTree by Universal. I was like, damn, how did I get here? This is
I'm
good.
asking the whole address and where the hotel at.
I'm still trying to remember how I got there. Like, it started off real cool. We was in there vibing, having a good old time, and I woke up and I was in Orlando.
Never have I ever thought that a friend or relative's child was ugly.
Say that again.
Never have I ever thought a friend's or a relative's child was ugly.
I'm sure I have.
So that's all of us.
As a matter of fact, my nephew, as a baby, he was not the cutest baby, but I mean, he grew into his look. So
right.
My own child wasn't the cutest.
I had a cousin like that. I was like, oh my God, this is the baby.
My own child was not the cutest. I'm like, y'all sure that's mine?
Oh Jesus. They switched it at birth.
But she cute now though. She cute now.
Tiffany, what's one fantasy that you have?
One what?
A fantasy.
I don't be having those. You're not like the fourth, fifth person that don't ask me that in my life. I don't have those.
No fantasy.
I'm weird.
See, now I don't feel bad because my person asked me that and I really don't have one.
I don't have one. Like, oh, people be like, oh yeah, I want to have sex on a merry-go-round. Like, I don't be one. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Now I legit do not feel bad for not having friends because I don't
feel
one.
bad because I don't. Every time somebody asks me that, it's just like I get stuck. It's just like I don't know.
I think it's a guy thing, to be honest.
I was feeling that way too because like my person, his fantasy is to come from head, and I'm like, ugh.
So what?
He's never done that.
Oh.
Why did you say ugh?
That's these jaws are set up.
Right, that could be a long time. Like
right, like the way these jaws are set up. Ooh.
I'm about to pass the fuck out. That is so funny. I think it's your reaction that made it funny to me though. She's like, oh.
I mean, I see more men having fantasies than females. Like I don't know too many females that have fantasies.
Nick, what's a fantasy for you?
Ooh. You go first.
Oh God. I would probably say mess with some swingers. Like I'm intrigued by the
All
whole.
you had to do was call Steven.
Call who?
Steven.
She said what she said.
I'm not. No, they too much older.
But
and I don't want to be nobody I know like that. We know, but no.
Then all you gotta do is come here. All you gotta do is come here to Tampa. It's a place over here called Fantasyland or Eyes Wide Shut.
Because I've always been intrigued whenever I've read books about it. I've met people who do it. You know, you see it in movies, on TV shows. I've just always been intrigued by the concept of the swingers. So yeah, I would love to go to an establishment, a club, and just randomly meet a stranger and.
Okay.
You know what? Knowing you, I feel like you say you're not ready to settle down right now, but I feel like if you were to meet the right person and she was like, if you were to get into an open relationship, you would be okay right now because that's the type of mindset you have.
Okay.
Now
I feel like if you
invited into a swinger was party or gathering, but I didn't go. I wanted to go, but I didn't go. I have a partner, a homeboy, who is in like the swinger club, whatever thing you call it, and they have a big convention down your way every year at a big hotel, and they just swing all day long. But I do know a few married couples who are swingers. It's a real thing. It's a big thing, and it's crazy. But I mean, I want to check it out. I don't mind checking it out.
I'm sorry, I don't like sharing dick.
Right, I was just gonna say like
if I want coochie, I got my own coochie.
Facts, big facts. Sis, I'm with you.
Sorry,
like I don't know, like,
like
I'm not.
I don't know where these bitches coochies and dicks been at, and I know I got a sensitive vagina. I got a high class vagina. I get infections quick. I know, fuck no.
My tutu is bougie.
It's real bougie. Like I got a real bougie cat. Like
she don't even
she
like if
don't
she
do
not
what
feeling
right.
you,
That's
she
what
don't
I'm
even
saying. Like,
perform right. Like
So let me ask you this: if let's say your man have a fantasy for the ladies, and let me just say this: is there any part of your body that's off limits?
My butt,
my ass.
Okay.
Yeah, leave my booty alone. I like to take boo boos with no problem.
I'm already dragging a wagon back there. Don't put.
She said she already dragging a wagon.
Listen.
I posted a picture. Was it yesterday, Marquis? Did I post that picture yesterday?
Yeah.
I posted a picture yesterday to promote a friend's boutique. And I was trying to show the whole outfit. Baby, my inbox has been lit up. Oh no.
All you
I got a man.
All you see is ass. You can't even pay attention to the outfit.
The outfit was so cute though.
Yeah, it definitely was.
The outfit was adorable. And I looked really good in the outfit. I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. So listen, Zandra, Jokera, Tiffany, Nick, I appreciate y'all. This was fun. Definitely would not have had season 1 or any aspect of this without y'all. Y'all supported it behind the scenes. You did multiple episodes, whether it was last minute, balancing work, balancing parenthood and whatever. So I really appreciate y'all. And I look forward to, let's see what else I do next. But I really appreciate y'all.
No problem.
Time always goes by so fast.
I know, right? Okay, so I'm very ready for this segment. And next up, we have 2 people that were very, very beneficial to this season. Both encouraged the heck out of me, but both really brought something different. We have Mr. Stephone Coward. You guys will remember him from my Bank Black USA episode. And it was I know I took a lot of notes. And I know just me and Lauren, I wanted you on this episode because I remember you sharing with me just some of the insights and things you learned. So I thought when I was thinking about who I wanted to bring together, the different personalities for this recap episode, I thought this would be very beneficial. Also, because I needed Stephone to understand I'm not the only crazy one in my friend group. And I need him to understand some of these other people that I be hanging out with. She's very intelligent. She's very much a hard worker. You guys remember Lauren. She actually started off my season amazingly with the first 2 episodes. She was on my double standard in relationships episode. But one of my favorite episodes of the season, and I believe it was number 10 or 11. It was number 11. It was so raw and authentic. We had to call it, I Know You Fucking Lying. Now, we use the initials for promo, but that's really what it means. Because my guests that episode, and some you met in the 2 you met in the earlier segment, they were very, and y'all know I can be a little raw and say some shit, right? But they came out their mouth with like, wait, what did you just say? So, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Stephone, and with Bank Black USA, it has been so influential. A lot of people really benefited from your episode. They really learned a lot. And I've seen it continue to grow. You've continued to be recognized. Share with some of the people some of the updates, because at that time, you guys were working on updates to the website and apps and things. So give us a quick update on Bank Black USA and where you guys are now.
Well, thanks for having me once again. And since the last time that we talked, we were able to publish a dashboard in a partnership that we did with University of Michigan to be able to help people understand the impact that these institutions are having in their neighborhood. We've updated our Bank Black map. We've expanded some additional partnerships, like on a university level, getting ready to put on a hackathon. We are going to be putting out a syllabus coming soon, talking about the banking Black and just the historical components of it. We wrapped up some work with North Carolina State University, talking about Black cooperatives and things and community land trusts across the country, and we just been continuously going. So I mean, we're not done. We're not done, to say the least.
Right. I know for me watching the episode, one of the things I learned a lot of was about, of course, the importance of just how it benefits our community with the bank, with the Black institution. And not even realizing that it was so many Black-owned institutions in our country, but also some of the history behind it and why it's necessary. You know, you've had movies come out. One was called The Banker, I really liked, with Neil Long, Samuel Jackson. I can't remember the other guy. And I love the uprising and the awareness to bank Blacking and supporting small Black businesses and just everything that comes with that. Lauren, I know you were very enthralled by the episode. What were some of the pointers that stood out for you? And if you have any questions for Stephone.
Yes, for sure. I must say thank you for bringing awareness. I have been in the mortgage industry for about 20 years now, working with Chase. I'm currently with USAA, and just the amount of information that you have provided, I was not aware of. So I must say thank you. One of the things that stood out to me the most, which I found just extremely important, was how local these communities are, and we don't even know about it. So having the app that will show where these institutions are, we can take our business to that community and provide and reincorporate that within our community so that we can basically help build back Black Wall Street. That's my goal, like, you know what I mean? So eventually I took that information because I felt so ashamed of being in this financial basically world and not even having that type of knowledge, because I always thought, you know, this is the top bank, do this, do that. And just, I was so overwhelmed with the information that, like, I texted Ramon real quick. I was like, oh my gosh, it was so interesting how all of these things are. And I just, for the lack of words, I felt so stupid because having been in the business that long and not knowing, it was just a complete shock. So I must say thank you. One of the things that I wanted to know, Stephone, from you was, how would a person of your level, I know you started off, on a managerial level, how do I take the information that I have now and reinvest my knowledge into your company, or, into Bank Black? How do I do that?
Well, I mean, you're already doing the work, right? Thank you for those words. Like, it's all about using our skill sets, the things that we've learned over our experiences. Like, you've been in there 20 years. It's been about 20 years for me as well in the banking industry. And it's like, how do we apply it in our community? How do we teach, like, you've been in the mortgage industry. How do we teach people the ins and outs of what's happening, right? Like, what does it take to get a loan? Well, how, like, what is PMI? What is escrow? Like, what are these things, and like the impact that it has? Because so many people are unaware. I'll tell you, like, before 2016, I wasn't aware of many of the Black-owned banks, right? Because they're underfunded, undersupported. You just don't know about them. There's a Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America on every corner. So it's like, if it's not locally in front of you, if it's not in front of you, you don't know. And that was the whole purpose of us coming together, because nobody talked about these institutions at all. So, the first thing that I always tell people is just raise awareness, because we're not in the business of trying to trade one oppressor for the next. So if these institutions are doing something that is not the best. You know, we will make sure that we bring awareness to that as well, because we want them to perform, but we don't want people to go there and have bad experiences either, right? So get informed about the institutions, where they are located, if you can bank, if you have to live in that state or not. And I mean, that will be helpful. Also, just getting involved in the movement. I mean, on our website, reach out, or, I'll make sure I get your information. It's just like we can, stay engaged about that, because the more people that we have telling the stories of these institutions, just bringing awareness, that's half the battle. We also need to make sure that we're getting them not only just deposits, but getting people to go to them for their lending opportunities, because that's how they build, right? Like, that's how they capitalize. So you're already doing the work, and it's just like, just putting the message out there, letting people know about what's going on is the best way. And if we have so many projects and things that we're working on. So if you or anybody listening ever wants to be involved in it, feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'll get you plugged in.
Thank you.
Look how excited he is about Black USA. And I think that's one of the things that really draws people in. You could really tell your passion and your dedication to it. And of course, I remember when you guys first started doing it, but I get excited, not just hear you, because when we talk on the phone and we talk about it, but just seeing how you light up when you talk about Black USA. I just love it. I really, really do. And I think that's what we need in our community, to see people passionate about the things that they're doing that is benefiting us. So when you think about the season, what was an episode, each one of you, what was an episode or moment in an episode that really stood out to you? I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to think about it.
I'll say,
go ahead, Stephone.
What I will say is that the episode to where you guys were talking about, first of all, Laurie, it was the first two episodes. But I tell y'all just dug in and went in. I'm like, oh, they're really going there. They're really going there, talking about their experiences, things that they've been through. And and then I'll even go further on, I believe it's another recording to where we're just talking about, the experiences that we had growing up and how it impacts us, like dealing with grief, dealing with mental health. That's something that's very important to me. As a person who deals with anxiety, deals with depression, those type of things. Like, so when y'all were speaking, I'm like, ooh, let me push pause real quick, because I'm about to get emotional or something.
Yeah.
I think for me, I really was nervous to do some of the episodes. I think the episode that made me the most nervous was the mental health episode, just because I've had conversation with y'all too, of course, and certain other close friends. But for me to just openly talk about my journey with mental health and my journey with therapy, there are probably some people that weren't surprised just because of some of my social media posts over the last few years. But I just think me being more honest and me being not feeling like I got to keep it in, not worrying about judgment, not worrying about opinions, or worrying about am I ready to share this open, right? Because a lot of times when you open that door for yourself and then it touches another person, you never know how you'll be able to react and respond to each other. And so for me, it was very healing, like this entire process. And some of you knew what I was going, but both of you know I was going through when I was even recording the process. But I think just going through it, seeing the feedback from others, that episode made me so freaking nervous. And I remember Lauren hitting me up, and it wasn't that episode. You hit me up after the absentee parent episode. And, it touched her to know that I and some of those other people had went through what I went through. And that's what I want. I wanted the fun. I wanted the craziness. But for me to have those serious talks about my own stuff, because I could have just been on here asking people questions. I wanted conversation. I wanted people to relate to what myself and everybody went through. And Yeah, unfortunately, that aspect was a big part of it. I think that for those who enjoyed the absentee parent episode, really probably like the season finale, just because I had my little sister, and so you guys are going to see us have a conversation that we've never had in our life. And of course, those who already saw it, because this will be, of course, will be at the finale. But I'm 37 and she's 30, 29, somewhere up in there. I'm old. I know I'm 9 years older than her, but nonetheless, to see us have the conversation that we had for the first time in our life. And here I am going through the season. I'm like, okay, this is the fourth damn time I done cried. If I cry one more time on a damn episode. But yeah, it was weird. But I don't regret it. I didn't regret it after releasing a lot of that release. So yeah, I'm glad that was something that you appreciated. How about you, Lauren?
Yes, definitely the absentee parent episode, that had an impact on me. And anyone that knows me knows how close my family is with each other. So seeing the other side of that, it really broke my heart. Another episode that really stood out to me was with Child Protective Services. It was Ramon, you and another gentleman, I forgot his name. And yes, and the way how you guys went into explaining what you experienced with these young people, 13, 14, 15, and they're having to make these difficult life choices. Like, I was so protected at that time because of how I was raised. But then on the other side, you have these young females, these young males living the lifestyle of grown men and women. Like, that just, okay, I cried on that one because I just could not imagine myself being in that type of environment, in that type of predicament, and just knowing they have a person that they can go to, that can, speak with, and how grateful and passionate that they were to just have that one person in their life. That took me aback, because I just was not ready for that. I did not expect that type of vulnerability being out in the open like that. I was always protected growing up. My parents did not play that game with their kids. So just knowing what a person has gone through in their young lives into adulthood, I have become more sensitized to people now. And I actually think before I speak. So it's very new, because anybody know me, I just, let it come. Right. So it's true.
I had to learn, because with my mouth, y'all both know how I can get. I had to learn how to be empathetic. I am not the most empathetic person. I had to learn that, because I look at my upbringing and things that I'm used to, the structure, the standards, the types of discipline. And it's weird because I learned that from being raised by my grandparents. But there was a period where I wasn't protected. There was a period where I went through a lot of things that the young people went through, and that what drew me to social work. And so thank goodness that once I got my grandparents, the good outweighed the bad significantly as far as what I was going through prior to. But it's you really, my stuff was nothing compared to theirs. Like, I'm talking about, we have had cases, just speaking for me personally, where a young girl witnessed her mom and her siblings being murdered in front of her. And I'll never forget it. It was done by the stepdaddy. And she went and hid in the closet. And he found her and said, "You better be glad I love you." So he never killed her. So just thinking about the trauma this little girl went through. And then when you got all the legal stuff going on, but one of her older sisters ended up having her, having custody of her. But this fool moves into the goddamn mama house. Well, this is where the tragedy happened. So why would you know what I'm saying? And so thank God, and Auntie popped up out of nowhere. And that's where she went, and it, she had a happy ending. I remember having one. We have a lot of youth that, human trafficking and sex trafficking. I never knew a lot about that. I come from Lauren, we come from a small town in Brevard County. I don't know about you hear about it in movies or on TV, but it wasn't so widespread. And so coming down here to South Florida, where it's a lot of international coming and going, you have a lot of, what I learned was, a lot of times it's not just human trafficking or sex trafficking being done by these strangers that promise you a good life, or a lot of times youth are kidnapped and then trafficked that way. But when it comes from your own family, I had one where a mother, to support her drug habit, was trafficking one of her sons. And she would give him off to men, women, whoever would pay for it. And this young man grew up thinking that sex was a way to get what he wanted. And I mean, men, women, whatever who was giving it an offering, that's what he was giving it to. And so it's sad. It's sad. But I think you also have those cases where you're inspired. And they can change your life, they can affect your life, they can have you take another look at your life and how you handle situations. And I just remember one time getting this case with a young man just a few years ago, where his mom was a victim of domestic violence. And he used to witness this every day. Him, a sister, and an older brother. And it's crazy how it would happen, because it was like a routine. The stepdaddy would come home pissed off, but before he would walk into the house, he would go on to the circuit breaker and turn off all the lights. So if you in the house chilling, whatever, and all of a sudden the lights go out, oh shit, the bastard home. So now we gotta be on edge. We gotta be on guard. What are we gonna get when he walked through the front door? So this was an everyday occurrence. They got tired of it. So, like I said, as an older brother, the second brother was on my caseload. He goes and get a gun, because they're like, we're sick of this. We're gonna protect our mama. We're not gonna keep going through this. Comes in, cuts up, does what he usually does, the hit in the cuts, all that foolishness. He gets the gun, he shoots it. But the way the stepdaddy maneuvered, mind you, he'd already shut the brake off, so there's really no lights, no clear vision of what's what. The way that he maneuvered, the bullet hit something, bounced off, and hit his other brother. So now I get this case, and this young man is paralyzed in a wheelchair. Had no animosity or hatred toward his brother. And I expected, first of all, and I didn't even give y'all all the details, I'm just giving you a summary. So just imagine when I'm reading the details of the case, I'm like, my heart is breaking for this young man. On multiple levels. And I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna be somebody angry, depressed, probably got all kind of issues. I went in with that mentality. But I met somebody that was full of life. He wasn't angry. He wasn't sad. He was very active, very funny, full of personality. And I said, now I look at the situation I've been through my life, and how quick I can get mad and depressed and just, And this man went through some stuff that you could understand if he was mad, angry, addicted to some stuff. Like, you could understand. Mm-hmm. And he was so determined that he wanted to walk again. This is my favorite part of the story. He was so determined he wanted to walk again. And I remember he used to love him some weed, right? And I remember the foster parent will always blow my phone up like it's an emergency every time he broke weed. And I told my supervisor, which was Dedrick at the time, I said, listen, this is not no emergency. So just in case this man call you and tell you I didn't call him back, This is why. We all know what this boy been through. We better be glad all he addicted to is some damn weed. Mind you, he was still going to school, had great grades, like the boy was active. But he did want to move on with his life. He wanted to drop out and just get his GED and be done and want to move on. Wasn't my favorite option, but I supported it, right? So we kept having the doctor's appointments, time go by. We're at a point now where he can get the procedure he needs done because there was a bullet still left in there. But you have to have certain procedures and x-rays and to make sure of where it's at. They can go in, know how to really go in and do what they got to do. And when you're dealing with the state and different entities, it don't happen right away. You know, we're getting reports and getting stuff done. So anyway, fast forward, he has the procedure. Well, by this time, I moved into a different position. So I didn't have on my caseload anymore, right? But I still would follow up and, you know, he would follow me sometimes and keep me updated or whatever, because my new position, he could benefit from it. So I still would have contact with him every now and then. Moved him into a nice apartment, he and a girlfriend. I said, okay, he wants to start shacking, but you know, he's still in school, going to work. We're going to leave him be, right? He comes into the office and they said, I was about to say his name. They say, so-and-so is here. And I'm like, oh, okay. Tell him I'll be there in a minute. Has the wheelchair. I didn't think nothing of it. So I remember, oh, Lord, excuse me. I went to the printer to get something. And when I turned around, he's standing. And I just froze. Because I knew he'd had the procedure. I knew he was in a crap load of rehab. But whenever I would ask about the rehab, of course, you know, rehab is hard. They push you, so I always got that perspective of it. He never tell me about the progress because he purposely wanted to surprise me. I like the fell out. A whole full mess in the goddamn office. Mind you, now this is post my grief. So this is post, you know, the stuff that I started to go through in 2019. So, you know, I wasn't a heart of stone anymore. You know, I don't become a bag of water. I was a mess. I was the mess in that office. That determination to want better, that determination to heal, those are the types of cases and things that really stand out and make it rewarding. And so if he had been the kind of person that was angry, depressed, if I hadn't been the kind of person to even want to support him through his journey and believe that he could and encourage him, but just open myself up to receive what I had received from him. Because to be honest, I really shouldn't have had that case because my caseload was already at a max beyond what they like you to have. But when there is a purpose and a reason for things to happen, he's going to make it happen. And so, yeah, I would say that was definitely one of my favorite aspects of being a social worker. But it can be hard. It can be hard. And your heart breaks for these young people, you know? One of the things that I wanted to do was to have what I call a turnabout. And so in this turnabout, I'm having my guests who I'm having on this recap episode ask me whatever the hell they want to ask me, right? I told them y'all know me, there's no restrictions. There is no, it ain't gotta be clean. You can ask me whatever the hell you want to ask me. You can be as messy and nosy as you want, if you choose to. If you want to be spiritual and deep, you can do that. So at this point, Stephone and Lauren are going to ask me, and I don't know, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know the subject matter. But they're gonna ask me whatever they want to ask me, and I'm gonna be 100% authentic. I hope Lauren is going to do what I expect her to do and ask me some bullshit. But however, I expect that these are going to be some good questions. So I'll tell you, for the listeners, y'all get ready, because I think I'm about to buckle up. Okay, so Lauren, we're going to go ahead and let you go first.
Thank you for allowing me to ask this question. It's not as bad as what you think it might be. I wanted to ask some raunchy questions, but I think we already established that we know each other enough about that.
Okay.
However, there is something that you mentioned in this episode of being vulnerable and your willingness to be open. So I've been taking notes. So I've been just curious over the past few years of dealing with emotional baggage, stress, and having to deal with certain limitations. You're limiting yourself. You did mention that previously in one of your previous episodes. How or what would you do to encourage someone that may be experiencing what you personally went through? And what examples would you give them to stay encouraged through their process of grieving, having to deal with that emotional baggage that they're holding on to?
Lord. So I think it's interesting because there are certain aspects of it that I'm still going through. With the first part, as far as advice, I would say that you definitely want to surround yourself with people who feed you in a positive way. And it's important because what's going to happen, this whole journey is a wait, right? And there's going to be moments where you doubt yourself. There's going to be moments where you have guilt, you have anger and resentment towards yourself. And so that is going to change how you look at yourself in the mirror. It's going to change how you feel about yourself. But when you have people around you that really feed you positive and believe in you, because your heart's going to be able to tell. You can tell when somebody's BSing you. You can tell when somebody is genuine. There are times when I didn't want to get out of bed. There are times when I wouldn't eat. There are times where I would go days and wouldn't take baths, wouldn't allow myself to be seen by people. But when people check on you, when people force you to come out the house, when people can say something to you and it lights up your entire day, it meant a world of a difference. You know, I talk about a lot of times in our personal conversations about a village. I don't know where I would be without my village. That consists of Stephone, that consists of Lauren and your family, that consists of other people. Because the main part of my village was gone. And I don't come from a close family. And so it's not like I had a lot of family that I could pick up the phone and turn to. And so Ramon is used to suffering alone. And if I tell anybody, my first piece of advice is do not allow yourself to suffer alone. Allow these people to love on you. Allow these people to encourage you.
I love you, Ramon. No crying. You're not going to do that today. You're not doing that. Nope.
Because that's the only way.
Have me balling.
That's the only way you're going to make it. You know, I've had all kinds of transparent conversations with the both of y'all. You know, and you guys have been there in the past when I had my issues with the Crohn's. So you're talking about anytime you're going through something tragic, you really need that village to uplift you. But also, you want to find something you're passionate in. And it may be different than what you used to be passionate in. You know, it could be something totally different, you know, but find something that you're passionate in, that find something that makes you smile in those brief moments when you're in a good space. Why do I say that? Because it's feeding you. We have to feed our bodies with physical food. We have to put gas in our car to feed our car. A lot of times we don't understand that when we're going through negative moments, this is the time where we also have to feed our bodies. We need to feed ourselves mentally. We need to feed ourselves emotionally. And so when you are uplifted, when you're finding things that you're passionate about that make you smile, listen, for a while for me, it was just watching scary movies or watching reality shows. Like it was something that simple that could put me in a good mood. Let me be entertained by these other people's life and they food us and pretend that's me. You know, just stuff like that. Then it slowly became the gym. Then it became this podcast. And then, slowly but surely, I'm where I'm at now. But you want to find something that you are passionate in. My third piece would be God and therapy. Let me tell you something. And you're going to have your moments where you're going to be angry and resentful with God. So I very much would say therapy. Why? Because sometimes we load our friends with baggage they cannot help us sort out. Our friends are there. They're amazing. The family that we have that are there, they're amazing. But there's something where you can go into a room, or because of COVID, I've done it Zoom, that you can do one-on-one with therapy, where you can literally lay out 100% of your burdens, 100% of what you're going through, not be judged, and they help you filter and maneuver through that. So those would definitely be my three favorites. And as far as you would say, like, examples, I remember, and just since you're doing the podcast, there were times where, matter of fact, it was one night of your episode, Lauren, and I talked about it on the mental health episode, where I came home from work and was in a good mood, I thought. I thought I was in a good mood. Something triggered me at work, but I thought I was in a good mood, right? So I come home and I fell back into the table scene that I talked about that belonged to my grandmother. And I was just so angry, and for multiple reasons. But once again, when you talk about your village and you talk about people uplifting you, and you talk about things that you're passionate about, having that episode with you and just how we talk and how we carry on, my spirit is uplifted afterwards, And so for me, I realized that right now with the space I'm in, this podcast brings me joy. And so on those days where I would be in a bad mood, dealing with, whatever mental, emotional state I would be in that day, I would still force myself to do an episode, whatever episode I was scheduled to do that day. And it happened multiple times during the season. But yet, by the time the episode finished, I'm uplifted. And so those are some of the examples. Or, I have some fraternity brothers that I'm really close with that have been amazing through this journey. And, to the point where they know what's going on. They give me my space, but then it's like, okay, we ain't seen you at X amount of days. It's a problem. Like, you finna get your ass to this house. And I remember one driving me crazy to the point where even after the drive, now, I could be a lazy son of a gun. So when you tell me you're going to pick me up and I ain't got to move my car, oh, okay, well, then now you're talking my language, right? And it ended up being an amazing time, surrounded by people that you love, that know what you're going through, but we ain't got to talk about it. We just know what you need, and that's what we're here to give. Stephone, if he goes a certain amount of days without hearing, he'll send a simple text to check on me. Lauren does the same thing. And we check in on each other. We talk about the fun stuff, the crazy stuff. Even with you, Lauren, we check on each other. So I think when it's a genuine situation and it's consistent, that's been really important for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How about you, Stephone?
You go deep when you be having these conversations, so I love it. So mine is gonna be a little bit different, okay. And I'm just kind of going out going out in left field a little bit. So let me ask you, when you recorded the show and you recorded all your episodes, have you ever had a moment to where you were like, wow, I cannot believe that we just talked about this, or I can't believe that that I have shared this kind of information? And if so, what was it like? And how did you feel in that moment when you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I really talked about that?
So yes, that happened a lot. I would say the two that stood out to me was during the prelude episode, and I'm glad no one brought it up, so maybe I shouldn't either. But during the prelude episode, I lightly made a comment about suicide. I'm not gonna say what the comment was. If people want to go back and listen to it, they can. But I was glad that nobody touched on it. I still would have addressed it or responded to it, of course. But I would say that I'm like, why the hell did I say that? Oh my God, I was just so annoyed with myself, right? The other one, on the episode with Lauren, her cousin, and my good friend Shantae, we talked about double standards. And I made a comment, and I guess because of how it came out, I made a comment and I said, when it comes to men and us tolerating a woman cheating on us, if she goes suck a dick, it's a problem. And so when I made that comment, because we know I talk like that, but just because of, I never know who may listen to it. I guess I was just like, oh my God, here we go. And I don't know about Lauren, I know I was a little tipsy. During the episode of, what you call it? The one with, I know you fucking lying. That episode. During that episode, I was talking about, no, not that episode, Lauren. It was I think it was your second episode where we was talking about the different things that could make sex better. And I was talking about just my love for marijuana and alcohol infused sex. I said these people gonna think I'm one nasty slut, but
somebody gonna be happy.
But we both know, baby, I got some stories for days, honey, and we ain't necessarily share them. No. But yeah, yes, God.
we gonna keep that between me.
But Stephone, I know you got a second question. Go ahead and ask another one.
Okay. Second question. What has been, because you can be a something else type of person when you want to be. Like you got a mouth on you. Like, so what has this experience taught you about, when it comes to just dealing with other people and like learning how to like sharing your story and allowing people to have a comment? Because one thing back in the day that you used to do, you would post something online and you would tell whatever you got going on, and then you be like, don't, just because I posted online don't mean you need to ask me about it.
First of all, you're the nosy son of a gun. This thing, Lauren, oh my God, I could post up, Lauren. It ain't been up 5 minutes. He in my inbox, want to play-by-play. And I know that a bulk of it came from a loving, concerned place, just because of knowing, just wanted to make sure, because of knowing things I've been through, just want to make sure that, so I get it, don't get me wrong. And I know that when I'm going through stuff, I can be very stubborn and moody, because I'm already moody on a regular. But I will say that, first off, I've learned to pay more attention to people's temperament, but also their sensitivities. I think that tragedy softened my heart in a good way. And I think that I've been able to connect with people on a deeper level when I can be cognizant of their emotional and mental space of where they're at. And not necessarily in a bad way. Like, for example, I understand that not everybody has thick skin. I used to look at it as if it was a problem. It was a defect. Like, if you were sensitive, something's wrong with you. Like, what? Because I just wasn't raised around sensitive people. Most of my friends are not sensitive people. And I tease Stephone about being a bag of water, but not necessarily when it comes to like life stuff and situations. He's a bag of water when it comes to some of this bull crap movies he be watching. Like, fool, why are you crying? That kind of stuff. But I've been amazed at when I have allowed myself to just embrace people's sensitivities and see how when I meet them there, how we connect on experiences. And I even learn. I feel like I've learned. I feel like I'm more effective in how I interact with people. I think it's made me a better person. I think it's added layers to who I am. Now, do I like it? Not all the time, because now you done got me feeling emotional, and I'm not used to feeling emotional with this kind of stuff. I miss my heart of stone, right? I teased about that. But it's been a necessary part of the journey, and I don't regret it, but I do find it entertaining sometimes when I'm like, okay, Ramon, they sensitive, you gotta pay attention. Nah, that don't mean you finna come across me with some bull crap.
That part.
Because the old Ramon is still very much there. And I ain't gonna put up with no foolishness. And I'm not finna baby you now. But if it's like a sufficient, like it's like a regular situation, this ain't no BS you sensitive over, then absolutely. I don't just come out the gate with all that bite anymore. I'll wait and see what you're gonna give, because I'm gonna match your energy.
Speaking of which, the last question that I had for you, Ramon, is in reference to our church,
Jesus,
in our community. I know that we've had our own conversations about it. Based on the information that was provided in the episode that you completed, is there someone that you hope or wish that they would listen to this episode and take notes?
Yes. The current pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Every elder except for your daddy. Because I don't, and the reason why I say that is because, let me back up. Your daddy don't need it. Elder Weaver don't need it. I love me some Elder Bullard. He don't need it. But the rest of them, every elder that Palm Bay Church has had, including my granddaddy, needs to hear that episode. Everybody who has been over Pathfinders after Brother and Sister Payne stepped down.
Love them.
Every single Pathfinder leader after Brother and Sister Payne stepped down needs to listen to it. There are some individuals that are no longer alive, so I won't speak on their name. I'll let the dead be dead. But yeah, there's been some AYS leaders that need to listen to it. There have been some, over the choir, the music ministry.
I didn't say to go into all that, but my God.
Oh, Stephone, do she not forget who she talking to? I thought she told me, did she tell me to name people?
I didn't say to name anybody. I said who. If you had anyone in mind.
Oh.
But hey, it is what it is. I should have known better.
And if anybody listens and got follow-up questions, they got my phone number and my social media. They can hit me up because I'm dead serious. What the hell? Because it is traumatizing when you have negatively affected a youth or youth. You still need to believe in God. You still need to come to church. But the person who has traumatized me, major or minorly, is up there in the goddamn pulpit.
Yes.
It's just like, and not to necessarily go there, but it's like having a relative or family friend that has molested you. You tell somebody in the family, they don't believe it, and this person is still invited over to family function. Or, you know what I'm saying, when you go through any kind of crime, you know who did it, but the police haven't found them yet, or, whatever, and then you drive down the street and see them. It has to be re-traumatizing, And then I think one of the issues I had is when they in the church know us from the moment that we're kids, and then when we grow up and become adults, they only see us as those kids. And so they handle us and address us as such. One thing my grandmother always told me, you can learn from anybody. Maybe you can learn from a child. A child can teach you something. That's just the mentality I was raised around. So I didn't understand being in a church that when I become an adult, or even as a child, anything that I say is null and void, carries no weight, and means nothing. That's crazy to me. But yet you still want us to come to you. You still want us to come around and be involved, but we're not embraced, or we're not encouraged, or we're not supported. So I never understood that. You want to stifle these young people's growth. That is crazy to me. In a church.
Ooh, mercy.
So lastly, I got a surprise for y'all. Y'all got something to drink?
My water is almost done.
I need y'all, Lauren, you need to get something to drink. Because what we're going to play now is Never Have I Ever.
Oh, Lord, I already failed.
I'm going to ask certain questions. And if you have done it, of course, we're going to take a sip.
Why?
Lord have mercy.
Okay. So take your everybody off mute, because if there's side comments, I want to hear it.
Oh, Lord. I need to get some.
Go ahead, I'll wait.
Give me a drink. Let me make
a drink. Let's take a quick intermission. Okay, so my guest.
You know how my evening about to go.
Hello, somebody. So now my guest done came back with their drinks. Okay, so let's go and get this Never Have I Ever. Now remember, if you've done it, you're gonna drink. Never have I ever smoked a joint. Never have I ever drunk down an ex.
Don't get me started.
Yep, you know who too.
Yeah. Never have I ever accepted a drink from a stranger.
Yeah, I have.
Baby, let me tell you something. That's how some of my good nights done got started, but that's not, that's for another conversation.
I have.
Yes, God. Ooh, here you go, Shantae. Okay. Never have I ever gotten busy in a public place. Oh, Stephone, we got to talk later because I didn't know that. Never have I ever dated or hooked up with someone 10 years older.
In it now.
Never have I ever dated or hooked up with someone 5 years younger. Hell, more than 5, but that's Jesus.
You trying to get me drunk?
Because, I've been doing,
Oh, God. Never have I ever called a partner the wrong name. Yes, ma'am, Lauren.
Don't judge me.
God. Never have I ever thought a friend's baby was ugly. I said sip, not slurp, Lauren. She had to take a big one on that one.
They grew into their features.
They did. They did. They really did.
Are we talking about the same person?
No. I'm talking about somebody.
Okay.
I don't think you know this, but I went to college with them.
Okay.
Never have I ever flashed or mooned someone. Somebody. Never have I ever held a grudge longer than a year.
Our drink almost gone.
Man.
Let me see.
Ooh, I have done some things. Oh, have mercy. Ooh.
I ain't gonna do that to y'all because I know we all done did that. Never have I ever Googled someone before a date.
I've done that.
Never have I ever gotten a bedroom related injury.
Can I tell you a story?
Yes, you sure can.
So, let me tell y'all, right? I thought my gangster was gangster until I met my match. And my match sent me to the hospital. And I had to tell the hospital that I was moving and I injured myself.
You didn't want to tell them what really happened.
I was so embarrassed.
Listen, it's so funny you said it because I remember one of my good friends, and I don't think she's gonna get mad if I say it because I ain't gonna say her name, but we were in high school, and she was dating this guy, who he was on the football team. She was not at Palm Bay High, and she really liked him. They had a good thing going. But what was interesting was, you know, when you young and fast and try to be grown.
Mm-hmm.
And this individual already kind of had a reputation of women not being able to handle. But she gonna think she a soldier in her teenage body, and she gonna go ahead and do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, now the whole time, what I thought was so funny was both of their parental unit thought they was virgins.
Ooh.
So they decided to go make it do what it do one night. And mama didn't know what the hell was going on with her body. Because he had done it too hard and rough. But it was one of those things where he enjoyed it. She was amazing. She was amazingly lubricated. So it's not like it was a pain that was,
Lord Jesus.
You know, like, oh my God, you're killing me. It was one of those, you're killing me, but it's a pleasure pain. So she took it like a soldier. She kept going. But mama didn't know what was going on with her coochie when it was over.
Oh my God.
So she made him take him to the ER. And can you imagine that's the way you found out your child fucking?
It takes a beef jerky.
I remember one time I called myself want to be freaky in the woods. I was in the 11th grade at Palm Bay High being freaky in the woods. Go meet somebody I had no business going to meet.
God. Oh,
my legs are scratched the hell up.
Oh, have mercy.
I walked into the house not realizing how bad it looked because by the time I got home it was dark. So I don't really realize, I know I'm scratched up. I didn't really realize how bad it looked. My poor grandma thought her baby done got attacked by a dog or something. So she like, what's all those marks of blood? Yeah, I couldn't tell her what the hell I was out there doing in the woods. So the thing about it is that I had my rollerblades on. I just fell on the road on the rollerblades. She probably knew it was a lie because my grandma not a fool. But she was like, I'm not gonna do this with this boy today. I'm not gonna do this.
She does not play.
But yeah, I said, see, some of y'all girls need to watch out. Never have I ever returned something after I wore it.
I've done it.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to drink. Never have I ever flirted with a married person. Oh, have mercy. That was fun. Never have I ever seen something creepy while riding public transportation.
Oh.
No.
Never have I ever witnessed a crime and didn't say nothing. Baby, that's not my business. That is not my business.
It's above me now.
Never have I ever fainted. So let me tell y'all a quick fainting story. So me and Stephone have a frat brother.
Oh no.
His name, we'll just say Q. We'll just call him Q. And I used to have this issue. I went through a phase where when we would go out and I would drink, I would faint. I'm not drunk. But for some reason, after about a drink or two, I would faint. And I would hit the ground, won't even know I fainted, get back up and go back the rest of the day like nothing just happened.
No, sir.
And he used to be so embarrassed, right? And I would be embarrassed because it would be room full of people. And they would never, I don't think nobody ever, I think some people's fathers thought I slipped, some people thought I got some kind of problem because you knew I wasn't drunk. And I remember one time, I think I was there in Texas. And me and this frat brother went out. And he had already told, I think he probably mentioned to Stephone and myself, come on, you want to come with this shit today. I want to hit this straight, I want to see this straight today, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a soldier, I'm gonna be a good boy. If I feel it coming, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, let my ass fall in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? We at the bar, at this event, it was a day party, real nice, having a good time. I'm still on my second drink. I'm walking up to the bar.
No.
It happened so fast. And I think he called or texted Stephone. And shit again. He made me sick.
Oh, yes, he did. And he called me today and said, how come he ain't been on this show yet?
And that should have been the perfect person to tell his version of the story because it would happen. It probably happened like a good 2-3 times with him alone because we would hang out a lot. Like we would hang out a lot, New Orleans, Texas. And I was like, okay, something's wrong because it's not normal. Because I remember one time, the first time it ever happened to me, it was actually down here in Miami. I came to visit. I was still living in Brevard. And I came down for a Memorial Day weekend. And my undergrad chapter had just had some boys come through. And they wanted to hang out with me. So I met up with them. We went to South Beach. And one of my line brothers ended up meeting us. And we're chilling on South Beach. I done been drinking. You know, it's very, very hot out there. Because, you know, it's so many people more than weekend. I didn't realize I failed. This is the first time it ever happened. And I didn't, because all I remember was looking up like, why the fuck y'all looking at me? What happened? Because I don't remember falling. And they was like, what the hell? They're young. They just came to the organization. This is their first time around me. They didn't know if they need to call the paramedics. They didn't know what was wrong. But my ass looking at them like they stupid. Like, what y'all want, y'all? I'm get up. And how about my ass gonna go get another drink? They was like, wait, what the fuck? What? One of my line brother that was there, he's more rough and tough where how he talk and present himself. He was like, that's just Ramon with his bullshit. Just sit his ass down and go get him some water, right? He was just like, whatever, that's Ramon. They're used to some kind of shenanigans when I've been drinking. So it was nothing for him. And me, I don't even remember what the hell going on. So I'm thinking, y'all crazy. I went and sat down, had me a cup of water, and that was that. But I did realize something's wrong. Like, that's not normal. So whenever I'm not gonna be surrounded by people or in very hot settings, I start to know that my body does start to feel a certain way. So what I do is drink a shitload of water before I even go. Especially if I know I don't want to drink nothing but alcohol while I'm there. And I will, when I start to feel it, I go to the bathroom then. Or I'll go walk outside and get some air and breathe. And I notice that when I do that, it doesn't happen. And so it hasn't happened in over 10 years. But It was so funny to me off of his reaction because he was just so.
I can imagine.
He was just so over it. And it was just so funny to me.
I can imagine because when you fall out, you just.
And then when I tell you I fall like boom, and it happened just like that. You don't know if I slip. You don't know if you need to be concerned. And you know I'm not dead because my ass gets up like within less than a minute. So, and I think the first and second time he probably thought it was me doing some bullshit in public, some stunts in public. No, I don't know I'm fainting.
Wow.
So let me see. Let me ask one or two more. Never have I ever drunk an entire bottle of wine in one sitting.
2.
Never have I ever had a one-night stand.
It's almost done.
Never have I ever had food poisoning.
No.
Oh my God, I'm the only one. Nasty ass piece I had from this place one time.
Ooh.
Listen, I appreciate y'all. This was fun. I would not have been able to. Oh, I successfully killed Stephone. I would not have been able to do this podcast season, make it through these last few years. Y'all have been amazing. I really appreciate you, Stephone and Lauren. And this was fun. I enjoyed it.
Thank you
for having us.
Absolutely. And I look forward to more. We're definitely going to be more coming from y'all. And I really appreciate it. And I'm going to go find out what I'm going to eat for dinner. So y'all take care.
I gotta go cook.
Well, that's it for today, folks. And for one more time this season, we are officially shutting it down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode, this season, and for all of your support. I really, really appreciate it. There's much more to come, so I hope you guys will still stay tuned and continue to support your boy. And you know I gotta leave you with a thought. So until next time, remember this. Some people's lives seem to flow in a narrative. My life has had many stops and starts. That's what trauma does. It interrupts the plot. You can't process it because it doesn't fit what comes before or what comes afterwards. Some days are just bad days, that's all. You have to experience sadness to know happiness. And I remind myself that not every day is going to be a good day. That's just the way it is.